What's going on YouTube? Paul's Customs Garage here. Got my dad, me, Will. We are going to be doing a cam break-in on my 66 F100 with a 428 in it. And I know we're only like 20 seconds into this video, but this video will get posted. So no matter what the results are, whether I have to pull my motor again or I'm going to be driving it next weekend, this video will get posted.
Unedited.
Most of it, it's gonna be a pretty raw video. We got Dad in the cab. He is wrapping up the wiring. Long story short, I'm gonna sum this up. I pulled this motor earlier the year to reseal it. That turned to crank coming out of the block, repainting the motor. Somehow a new camshaft slipped in there, new heads, whatever. So y'all know how it goes. So this has kind of been a long year project. But while the motor's out, we rewired the entire truck with an American Auto Wire wiring kit. So that is kind of what we're wrapping up right now. But I installed a Howard's Rattler cam. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I think it's the duration is like 281, 289 maybe, somewhere around there. And lift, I know lift is the exact same for intake and exhaust. It's like 550. Very mild cam, but it is a hydraulic flat tappet, which y'all all know about that and the scares of that. So I made a video of installing the cam, walking through the process of whatnot of installing the cam and lubing the cam into the block. I will link that video below. I'm kind of filming all this for my sake. If anything does go wrong, I can say, hey, I've done all these steps, that this was a strictly material issue. So I did Howard's lifters and Howard's cams, which I'm not biased, but I legitimately on FEs and small blocks and even in the Buick nailhead groups, because I am in the nailheads, Howard's lifters have been like on point. So hopefully they do me well. But I put new heads on the 428, brand new 750 Holley double pumper with the HVC high velocity heads, 1-inch carb spacer. Did a double rolling timing chain, Howard's cam, new coil, new water pump, and some new valve covers and air cleaner. Did a low car throttle cable, not throttle cable, throttle cable return spring system. So yeah, this truck should be pretty fun if all goes well. But Dad's gonna wrap up the wiring. I'm gonna put you on the tripod and fill this radiator up with water because I want to pressure test it with water first before I start adding coolant. And you know, I don't want to be mid break-in and it's just like leaking everywhere. So I'm gonna pour some water in it, pressure test it. Then if it checks out, then I will add coolant. I believe that's 9 pounds. Or is that 6 pounds? I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna have to close that off because that'll leak. That just shut me down for the day. Wants to go up to someone and buy a radiator.
Well, let's go buy a radiator.
Yikes. All right, we're back in business. I'm at Summit Racing right now. And just got a cold case radiator. It's the last one in stock. So rush home, put it on, and let's break in that cam. Here is the new radiator out of the box. Actually looks cooler to me and has a way better black paint job since that one, the one that has a hole in it, was originally just had an aluminum finish and I painted it with Duplicolor black paint. But definitely has a more factory styling to this radiator. So I'm fully prepared to have to mock up. This thing is not going to be a direct bolt-in because that radiator is not direct bolt-in because the core support is for a four-wheel drive, correct?
Yeah, whenever we got the core support for that truck.
In like 2016, 2015?
Yeah, all they offered was for a 4x4.
Because that was before a lot of aftermarket parts were coming out for the slick sides. So we're gonna have to fab this up somehow. It's not hard. We gotta have brackets for it. But I'm gonna stop talking, put you on the tripod, and we're gonna take the old radiator out, put the new one in. We're cutting the brand new radiator. Cycle the key, but you see the cluster comes on, cluster is in. Everything does seem to work. The fuel gauge I'm a little iffy on. It's not going up, but I do believe my tank is empty, so my dad's going right now to get fuel to put in the tank. Tack, I hope it works. If not, I'm gonna have to shut the truck down once we do start it. Oil pressure gauge works. Water gauge should work. I don't see a reason it shouldn't. Voltage gauge works and all that. But there's a little things we do need to actually do to complete the wiring to make it more roadworthy. Dash lights, tack light, which is stupid simple. Brake switch, do all that. But right now, my focus has been to get the actual dash panel in and working, and for this motor to run. That's basically been my focus as far as wiring wise. But also, my gasket is upside down, my exhaust manifold gasket. Don't judge. I will flip it eventually. Did get a new dipstick tube. Absolute mint. Oh, I need to add the additive. Let me go grab the additive before I forget. This is the Howard's Cam additive that they recommend. It's a zinc additive. I'm going to add it to the oil, then prime the engine, which my buddy's borrowing my priming tool. So when I prime engines without a priming tool, I basically just take the coil wire off and spin the motor, and it'll prime. Once you take the purple neutral safety switch, and you slice it into the starting ignition wire.
Yeah.
And that's how
It works.
supposedly. It's obviously not.
Well, no, I mean, it was work. We were getting fire.
Yeah, but when I let go of the switch, it.
Because I thought it ran an ignition wire off of one of these.
Only if you had an external.
Here's some oil. Just to verify. It's PR. And it's these bulky starter. And bulky starter right there. Yeah. It might also be flooded a little bit too.
You ready?
I think it'll fire off really quick now.
Try now. Be ready for the throttle.
I am.
Got it.
So as y'all saw in the last clip, the truck decided to do a little geyser and just shoot out all the coolant. I ran the truck for 5 more minutes today, and everything was going well. We have a little bit of a coolant mystery, or cooling system mystery. I think my water pump is leaking. The actual backing plate of the water pump, I believe it's leaking. It's what it looks like, or it's the water pump we pull, which that's a brand new water pump. So you're probably gonna have to change water pumps or just do a little more further inspecting. I just drained the oil. I forgot to film it. I'm sorry, guys. But for break-in oil, I use conventional. This is what Howard's recommended because it was Howard's cam. Conventional, I want to say 530. I can't remember exactly. It was either 530 or 1030. Or it might have been 30 weight. I don't know. Whatever cam manufacturer you use and whatever oil they recommend, that's what I would recommend that you do. I added their zinc additive, and now I couldn't get a hold of some GP1 driven oil, so I went to the Hot Rod Classic oil with high zinc in it, 10W30. That's what I'll be running. That is conventional oil, not a synthetic blend. It is this stuff right here. Boom. Then I got oil filters. So my dad's making up a template for an inspection plate because I don't have an inspection cover for the bell house or for the flex plate, and it's very loud. So Dad will be doing that. I'm gonna put fresh oil in, fresh filter, pull it outside, let it idle. That way we can hear what it sounds like idling. Just the timing a little bit. The timing doesn't need much adjusting. It is pretty spot on, surprisingly, because it fired right up. Carburetor doesn't seem to be needing any adjustment either. But once I actually start running it and check the spark plugs and whatnot, I'll probably figure it out if it needs adjusting or not. But so far, so good. The only problems have been just simple minor things like possibly a minor oil leak, possibly a coolant leak like the water pump I was telling you all about, and just cooling system issues. That's literally everything that has been happening that go wrong. And the alternator, which now the alternator, I didn't hear any belt squeal, Dad, did you? I didn't hear a single belt squeal, so that's nice. Some of the footage, and for some reason one of our mics is distorted, so a little bit distorted. I'm gonna edit it. If I can't, I'll put a little thing that says, hey, sorry, it's distorted. But we've been looking for the mic because I lost it on me. It was clipped on me for like 10 minutes. Found it. All right, are we mic'd up again? Get mic'd up, bro.
Give the people what they want.
All right, hold the camera. Let me get mic'd up. The camera's still facing you.
Oh, sorry.
This guy. Mic'd up now. Man, this thing sounds good. See how accurate we were.
Huh?
So now let's see how accurate we were. Is it gonna hit over there? And hit.
Well, if the gap's wrong, it's wrong all the way across because it's even.
I think it needs to go back a little bit.
I agree.
This is why I said putting a hood on is gonna be a little more cringing than cam breaking. starting to look like a truck again. I need to raise this fender up a little bit. See, that gap's a lot closer and tighter. Need to get a new emblem because that's way higher. This truck is not perfect, all right, guys? Don't judge. I do need to get a new emblem. That way I can drop that emblem down a little bit because that one's broken. But it's already starting to look like a truck again with a hood. Let's go drive it. Maybe you can put Mom's thing where my seats are in the.
Yeah.
I'm talking about with a wire tent. I don't know why it's pegged out. Oh yeah, y'all like that window crank handle? Good old vice grip.
Hang on, turn on the AC.
Oh yeah, turn on the AC, guys. £30, well, yeah, like 35 pounds of oil pressure. Okay, so I'm like 1200 RPM, 25 miles an hour. When I press the throttle, listen to it. It gets real loud. It kind of takes a second, and it like lags because this thing should be pretty snappy, and it's not. So that's why I think I'm the wrong torque converter. So I'm gonna read up on how to adjust the vacuum actuator before I start making conclusions out of the wrong torque converter.
I hope you enjoy the cam break-in video of us breaking in the cam.
Thank you. This guy. All right, truck looks pretty good.
Truck looks great.
Can't even lie.
Sounds good.
Doesn't drive good.
No, I mean, a snail is faster,
Yeah.
but that's just a torque converter transmission issue.
Yeah, that's torque converter or transmission or the vacuum actuator. But if I had to change torque converters, we're dropping the transmission, which, like I stated earlier, I don't ever really want to do anything to the C6. So it very well may be a C6 problem because this transmission build is not the best. You can agree to that.
Yeah, I would say that if it's a torque converter problem, we take advantage of still having the clutch pedal in there, and
You gonna help fund that, bro?
they will.
We'll be right back. Yeah, so we're gonna definitely try a bunch of things before I just go ahead and drop the transmission. We're gonna adjust the vacuum actuator, check. I just read on a forum that the shift linkage could be loose or something. So we're gonna do all those things before I take the torque converter out, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't taking that torque converter out and putting a new one in. I will manual swap it.
Agreed.
So if I have to do that a lot sooner than I wanted to, they'll just get pushed back. But speaking of builds, we're actually taking Cherry out. We're gonna clean the garage because the next video you will see is us motor swapping my mom's Cherokee we got probably about 11 months ago. So that car has not been on the channel since then because there was a connecting rod pointing out of the block. If you'd like to watch the video, I will put a little description or the link in the description. But we bought long story short, we bought a 360 off the Facebooks for about $1,000.
Yeah, a short block.
Yeah, fully machined short block. Bunch of parts, brand new carburetor, electronic ignition, all that. What we're gonna do is take the 360 out of the Jeep, swap all the heads, the brackets, the valve train, everything over, and put it back in and drive it.
All in a weekend.
That's the goal. I wanted to finish that truck in a week, and it is 11 months later, or 9 months later. So we don't really have good luck with finishing things in a weekend, but this should technically be pretty straightforward because we already know everything works on the Jeep. lights work, wipers work, gauges somewhat work. So, because we've hooked a battery up to it. So it really should just be pluck and plug back in.
Unless the transmission doesn't work.
Then we'll have 2 transmission problems. We could manual swap Mom's Jeep.
No.
Dang it. But yeah, so that's going to be the next video. I haven't posted much this year. That'll change next year. It's been a little bit of a hectic year, but I'm glad this truck is somewhat done. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.